A week and a half after the statement by the chief of the General Staff, Valery Gerasimov, about the capture of half of Kupyansk, no evidence of the capture of the city center has appeared. However, the Russian Ministry of Defense tried to back up the words with a bloody PR campaign. The Russian independent publication We Can Explain writes about this. A few days before his 70th birthday, Gerasimov reported that Russian troops had almost completely surrounded Kupyansk and taken control of about half of the territory. However, the situation on the ground contradicts his words. Russian units hold only a few settlements north of the city and continue to fight on the outskirts. To demonstrate the imaginary success, the Ministry of Defense released a video with Russian flags on the streets of Kupyansk. The footage shows how soldiers, having installed the tricolor and shown it to the drone camera, immediately run away. Later, the armed forces of Ukraine released their own video of the strike on these groups. Ukrainian military reported that some Russian fighters changed into civilian clothes for the sake of the performance. Military analyst Yan Matveyev believes that this was pure imitation. According to him, Russian units could not rush to storm Kupyansk immediately after Gerasimov's statement, but it was necessary to save the general's reputation, and the command chose this method. Even Russian Z-War correspondents questioned the official version. They wrote, "I listened to Gerasimov and do not understand who is so clumsily setting up the chief of the General Staff. As a result, this information goes to the top, and this is a very serious exaggeration." Other propagandists noted that Kupyansk is already tired of being liberated, like Belogorovka, which is taken 10 times a year. The founder of the CIT project, Ruslan Leviev, adds that such statements turn into a tragedy for the Russian military themselves. When soldiers hear that the city has allegedly been taken, and this is a lie, they understand that they will soon be thrown into the attack in order to fit the reality to the reports. This leads to new losses and senseless assaults.
More than 60 containers toppled off a cargo ship Tuesday morning in the port of Long Beach, tumbling overboard and floating in the water. According to Associated Press, the shipping containers fell off a vessel named the Mississippi shortly before 9 a.m., and no injuries have been reported, according to Port of Long Beach spokesperson Art Marroquin. About 67 containers were in the water, the U.S. Coast Guard said on the social platform X. Long Beach, about 20 miles south of Los Angeles, is one of the busiest seaports in the country, with 40% of all shipping containers in the United States coming through it or the Los Angeles port. Some of the containers appeared to have fallen on the Stacks 2, an anti-pollution vessel attached to the side of the Mississippi that captures emissions. When empty, a container can weigh between 2 to 4 metric tons depending on the size. The Pier G container terminal, one of 6 at the port, temporarily stopped unloading and loading ships as authorities worked to secure the containers. The Mississippi sails under the flag of Portugal and arrived in Long Beach after departing August 26 from the Yantian port in Shenzhen, China, according to vessel tracking websites. Poland sent military equipment to the Belarusian border on the morning of September 10, Interfax quotes the state television channel First National. It is specified that the message is accompanied by footage of military equipment of the Polish army moving along public roads towards the border with Belarus. Poland will close its border with Belarus on the night of September 11 to 12 in connection with the Russian-Belarusian military exercises, West 2025. According to the head of the Polish Ministry of Internal Affairs, the restrictive measures are temporary and are related to ensuring security during the large-scale maneuvers. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk called the upcoming exercises very aggressive from the point of view of military doctrine and promised to take special measures against Minsk. Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov stated in May that the joint exercises are aimed exclusively at defense, and that they will practice a scenario for repelling potential aggression directed against the Union state. Earlier, NATO promised to respond to Russia's military exercises. It is noted that the transfer of military equipment coincided with the discussion in Warsaw of the possibility of using Article 4 of the NATO treaty. It provides for consultation with allies in the North Atlantic Alliance in the event of a security threat. Earlier, Chief of the General Staff, First Deputy Minister of Defense of Belarus Pavel Muravyko said that Warsaw notified Minsk about unidentified drones approaching the Belarusian border from Ukrainian territory. According to him, the Republic's air defense forces shot down the UAVs that flew into Belarusian airspace at night. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk added that the Polish military used weapons against unmanned aerial vehicles detected in the country's airspace.